Bullying is universal.
Damaging, humiliating, hateful, depressing, ignorant, harassment. Bullying is praised, shameful, dishonest, gossip, contagious, inconsiderate, abusive.
Bullying is everywhere.
75% of peers are bystanders of bullying.
I think I was a bystander because I didn't know the person who was being bullied personally, and I didn't feel the courage to stand up for them.
I think everybody has at one point.
If I was a bystander, I should stand up.
Growing up, I had found myself involved in many fights with older kids because they were always picking on my friends. By grade 5, I made a vow to never act like they did or bully anyone under no circumstance. And yet, a couple years later, I became the bully. Fighting, gossiping, judging, you name it, I've done it all. It wasn't until one of my good friends was affected by a severe case of bullying that I realized the true effects it could have on someone. Soon, I discovered that more of my friends were going through some form of bullying that affected them in such a way that talks of suicide, depression, and low self-worth became normal, all by grade 8. Bullying can happen anywhere at any time, even in one's home. So although you feel it was justified or that it was harmless, that person who you just made a victim lost something very dear, their voice. So my question for you is, do you want to be the cause of a lost voice, or even worse, a lost life?
Nearly 300 young Canadians take their own lives every year.
More young girls are afraid of becoming fat than they are of nuclear war, cancer, or their parents dying.
I think girls are bullied more like mentally, emotionally, like word talk, but I think guys are bullied like more physically.
Girls bully more harshly, I feel.
Because girls are very dramatic.
I think girls are more vulnerable because they let themselves be bullied in different ways than guys. Guys is more physical, girls is more psychological.
People told me high school was supposed to have some of the most defining moments someone could have in their life. They were right. As I began high school, what I expected it to be like turned out to be the complete opposite. People that I'd never talked to began to gossip about me. I was being used as a personal target due to the insecurities of others. Each successful moment of harassment and bullying made me more scared and uncomfortable to walk down the hallway and attend classes. I was continuously afraid to face those who hurt me every single day. Names would replay in my head over and over. Bitch, slut, whore, sleazy. Have you ever heard that phrase? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, words did hurt me. My confidence, my strength, self-esteem, and the will to live were all taken from me. This was just my grade 10 year. By grade 11, I was terrified to come to school. I would wake up every day and have to force myself to go. The days that I did attend consisted of the same thing. I was being cornered, pushed, shoved in lockers, and beat up. Physically, emotionally, and mentally, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. At the end of my grade 11 year, I left school 2 months early in an attempt to avoid the pain and hurt. My attempt failed. July 5th, 2011 was my defining moment. This was the day I decided I didn't want to live. I'd given up. I avoided school and all the people that hurt me, but the pain was still there. I didn't want to feel this way anymore, so I did something about it. As the pills began to slowly invade my body, sooner or later, I was laying in a hospital bed. In an attempt to end my life, one of my friends had made sure it was not my time to go. Although this moment still affects me today, I'm glad that the hurt and the pain is no longer overtaking my life. My confidence, self-esteem, and strength progressively began to grow more in my life through the encouragement of my friends and family. So my question for you is, do you know what impact your words could have on others?
People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
I don't understand why people feel the need to make someone else feel belittled.
Physical, it goes away after a little while, but I think verbal, it just stays with you more.
When I began high school, it was such a different environment than I was used to. I was lost, and at some point in my early years, I was trying to discover who I was. Being in high school, I was lost in a sea of people in which I didn't know how to respond to or act around. I was looking for acceptance. Once I began to experience and observe the people around me, I discovered that finding who I was and being accepted meant to be like everybody else. I had a small group of friends in which I really didn't expand past. These girls were the only thing that I truly had going good in my life. My attitude was poor, my family life was a mess, and I didn't really feel like I had much to turn to. In the process of discovering who I wanted to be, I began to act like everybody else. I started unnecessary drama, and I would continually find negative things to say about anybody I could. Needless to say, I was a bully. Sure, maybe I didn't do any physical harm or harass anyone, but by involving myself in the petty gossip that was affecting those around me, especially my friends, meant that I was the mean one. It meant that I was the bully. Slowly, as my friends and others began to hear what I was saying about them, they lost the respect they had for me and completely shut me out. Friendships were lost, and so was I. Could I blame them? Who was I trying to be, and what was I trying to prove? Once I had lost everything, I came to a realization. I didn't just want to be a normal high school student who was doing what everybody else was. At that point, I decided to change. I changed my mindsets, my habits, and my attitude. I no longer wanted to be the cause and the participant in drama. I no longer wanted to be the bully. As high school continued, I soon began to restore friendships that were lost due to my poor actions. Although I look back and realize the bully I was, I can look at myself now and say that that is not the person that I am today. The life that I was living seemed normal in the eyes of most people, but in the end, it was hurting those emotionally and mentally around me. Maybe you say that words can't hurt. I say you're wrong. My question for you is, who do you want to be?
People who bully are often bigger and more powerful than their victims.
Suicidal people are determined to die.
There have always been bullies, and there always will be. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you.
Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or any small act of caring, all of which has the potential to turn a life around.
Stand up. Be brave.
Speak up.
Believe in yourself.
Be the change. Respect yourself. Stand up.
Be brave.
Be strong.
Believe in yourself.
Be the change.
Step up so others don't get stepped on. If you stand by and watch bullying, it makes you part of the problem.
Be the difference.